Hello everybody, my name is Zachary Bakogiannis. I am a campus student here at Full Sail University, and today I'll be doing my mechanics breakdown of Destiny 2. I'll be covering the Titan melee charge. So the Titan has multiple subclasses you could switch from, but I'll be focusing on the Solar subclass here today. Just to showcase, there is the Arc one, and it does have a Void one. I point to the wrong one, it's actually the one on the very bottom. So, again, I'll be covering the Solar subclass today, so here's the description of the ability. While sprinting, use this melee ability to swing a blazing hammer that weakens enemies. I'll go into more detail on that here in just a little bit. Alright, for user input and testing purposes, I'll be using an Xbox One controller. Here I'll demonstrate if you press the melee button, which is right bumper, it should just do the standard melee attack. You have to be sprinting in order to proc this ability, as demonstrated here. You do have to sprint for a set amount of time or distance to be able to proc it as seen here. You'll be able to sprint to get a little bit of a wind effect and an audio cue, and then you can press the right shoulder button and execute the melee. So here I'll actually demonstrate the ability on another player. Again, I have to sprint a certain distance to proc the ability, then I can go into the melee charge. So sprinting, press melee, it executes the attack with the animation and the visual effects.
Gains the lead. And
then it defeats the enemy. There are multiple ways this ability can be executed. Here I'll be showing you just the standard sprint into the melee ability. Here I will demonstrate that you can actually sprint, slide, and then execute the melee. And here, the ability can be executed by sprinting, jumping, and then pressing the melee button. So again, standard on-ground sprinting, sliding, then melee, and then jump and melee. Okay, so some of our metrics here will be gathering using this heavy ammo spawner here, along with these tiles here on the floor. Each one of these tiles is a meter wide, so anytime I move forward or move back, and we can reference the heavy ammo spawner there, just so we know our distances. First test, we're going to test how far we have to sprint to be able to proc the ability. As you can see there, we start getting the wind effect anywhere between like 18 to 20 meters. I'll showcase it again. So back up to the 80 meter mark, start sprinting, and right there you start seeing the wind effect kicked in. Here I'm going to showcase the overall distance traveled from start to sprint to end animation. So we're right at 30 meters there. Okay, so here I just want to demonstrate some more player feedback. Again, you'll be sprinting, get a little bit of the wind effect and the audio cue as it kind of builds up. When you're in this view here, it just allows you to be able to proc that shoulder charge ability as demonstrated here. And then it just goes back to normal. And here I want to demonstrate some more of the effects. So as you sprint, a little bit of that flame and animation, some particle effects, and you'll hear the audio cue of the actual impact being made. Okay, now I'm going to show some more effects on the other two subclasses, starting with Arc. So, switch over to the ability, get my ability to charge, sprint forward, execute, and I completely missed. I guarantee you he's probably taunting me, so let me spin around. Yep, he's emoting. Alright, second attempt. There was that particle effect and the land of the hit. Go back to my position here and switch over to the Void subclass. This should give me enough time for him to get back into position. And perfect timing. So here we go. Again, sprint, melee. So you see a little bit of variance between the three different subclasses. So some of the negatives to this ability is, as you can know here, you can actually miss and only gets less accurate as there are more enemies in front of you. It can only be activated after sprinting for a short duration as mentioned previously, and you only have that one charge before it goes into the cooldown period compared to like some of the abilities like your grenades where they can be instantly activated and you can have multiple grenades at one time. So some shortcomings of this, just wanted to put that out there. And if it wasn't bad enough, you can actually be killed while trying to execute this ability as shown there. Also worth mentioning that the cooldown of this ability is affected by the player's strength stat. So as you can tell here, I have over the max, and my melee ability cooldown is at 32 seconds. So obviously the higher the stat, the smaller the cooldown. But if I switch to the most base generic gear I could find in my collection, the stat goes all the way down to 24, and you see the huge time increase there. So obviously if you're going for a melee build, you want to have as much strength as you can to keep that cooldown as low as possible. And as a quick wrap up, this connects to the overall design of the game, as it's one of the many abilities the game offers, but it is unique to the Titan class. Titans can use this in everything from the competitive PvP scene to endgame content such as raids and dungeons, and even outside of combat. Titans can use this ability in order to reach higher platforms within jump puzzles or clear widely spaced out gaps within dungeons and raids. I do thank you for your time, and that is my full breakdown analysis of the Titan shoulder charge.